Hi there, my name is Patrick. In this presentation, I'll be discussing on the interrelationship between HR, business, and digital strategy. The relationship between HR, business, and digital strategy is such that must work together in a cohesive manner as well as to deliver the desired business objective. Bearing in mind that the paramount goals of any organization is to minimize cost and maximize profit. So a good HR strategy should be designed in a way that will take the normal HR process and then transform it through the lens of digital strategies, of course, in alignment with the organizational goals. And so while HR strategies focuses on positioning the business workforce in a way that conforms them to the various processes within the organization, which are more like designed to enable the attainment of organizational goals. Business strategy, on the other hand, is clearly defined plans and step-by-step actions that is to be taken in order to achieve organizational goals and objectives. Business strategy outline some of the organization's decisions that has to be made in terms of when recruitment is taking place, how various resources will be allocated across all of the departments in the organization. So these are the basic strategies that business would naturally cover. So then looking at digital strategy from his own perspective, it's more like looking at the overall organizational processes and then create a form of dynamism that helps the business to position itself for technological disruption that is going on even either at the moment or in the future. And so the business digital strategy sort of safeguard the business and prevent the business from suffering from any technological advancement that would sort of take um, other competitors to another new level, leaving the organization behind. I could remember the case study of Kodak, um, being taken out of the market because the company couldn't see the technological innovation that was introduced to them at the early stage, and that was what brought an end to the reign of Kodak. And so digital strategy is about number one, looking at the organization overall process and then sort of infuse technology to create a balance or to improve these processes so as to minimize cost and maximize profit and to um, better serve the business customers. So this is the basic idea behind digital strategies or digital transformation in business. So organizations should be positioned to see, from afar and respond in a proactive manner if it intends to remain in business for a longer time, especially in this 21st century. And so bringing all of these three concepts together to establish the interrelationship that exists between them will be to strike a balance at the center of everything, ensuring that the human resource follows these basic steps. Number one is to regularly check the business and its competitive environment so as to be able to identify new changes and possible areas of adjustment. Another thing will be to ensure that resources such as the human capital and the business finances are well planned and distributed efficiently so that it can help the business to grow and attain its objective. Stakeholders such as employees and customers in the business are also to be, informed, to be carried along in the transformational process. So, in order for the business to enjoy their full cooperation, the strategy should be reviewed at a regular interval, so that updates and changes can be made um, in a more swift manner. Um, the HR must align the organization workforce, including those at the top management level, with the digital transformation that is in progress. For example, I remember watching a particular state, the CEO of a particular bank in Nigeria, and he said the first time the HR department, he had a meeting with the HR department and other senior management, and they told him about um, remote working, why they think some of the staff should be allowed to work from home. He said he turned it down and felt it would be impossible for this for remote working to add any benefit or values to the organization. But then COVID-19 came, and the entire world has to resort to working remotely. And so it was a bit challenging for the bank to respond at that point. While other bank where they were able to quickly adjust their processes and start taking advantage of the new changes. That particular bank had to, they stayed behind. They now had to put things in place before they could move in that regards, and of course that would mean that they would lose some customers and even some staff uh, during that period because they were unable to see it coming, and they were unable to prepare ahead. So digital strategies and business strategy together with total strategies sort of help organizations and the HR department to prepare ahead to transform the business, to position the business well for any possible changes that could affect normal operation. So moving on to the next phase of the slide, which is number two, how digitization in HR provides strategic edge for business. Beyond using digitization to sort of increase production output, digitization help HR to gain more insights through the data that digital resources, digital solution offers in that regard. And so it makes data available to support decision making. And that's one of the key benefit of um, digital solutions. It is highly driven by data, and through this data, HR can have information to support their decision processes. It helps in knowing the employees better and retaining them. And so the key to retaining employees is about knowing exactly what they want and how to best meet their needs. So digital solution provides information that can help HR to sort of have a better understanding of their employees' need and to be able to serve them. So if HR, if the organization is able to meet employees' needs, um, they have a greater possibilities of retaining them. So another thing it does is that it gives organization competitive advantage in the labor market. So if an organization is able to sort of know the kind, the set, the skills, and have deep insight, deep information regarding the type of workforce that it needs to grow. Um, it will enable that particular organization to go into the labor market, reaching out to those specific categories of people. Another thing is it provide better employee engagement. So having information, having a deeper insight about the workforce will sort of help the organization to engage more with the employee. And so digitization also help HR to manage talent and create better engagement among its workforce. HR can now rely on digital solutions and data analytics to receive and manage employees' feedback. Rewards and developmental program can be created through digital digitization, and most importantly, the organization can sort of tailor, um, you know, they can tailor whatever their their benefits to sort of suit the kinds of employees that they have. Um, Moving on to the next slide. How would you rethink your organizational model? The first thing is to understand the company's vision. So, understanding of the company's vision will begin by studying the company's vision and goals to be achieved within the stipulated time frame, so as to be able to design strategies that will bring about changes uh, in the way things are done. And so once the vision is understood, then and the goals is of course realized, then HR can begin to sort of look at the processes on ground and begin to identify the task that is to be performed in order to achieve these goals. And then from there on, communication and you know the workforce can be assessed to see if they truly have the skills needed to achieve this task. And once all of this can be identified, then of course gaps can also be would also be noticed um, in the middle of it. We say, okay, the workforce are lacking this and this particular set of skills, and then training development can be introduced from there on, such that in the end the whole transformational process will run smoothly. And of course, after the training, there still needs to need to review if the employees or if the workforce, if they truly you know got the benefit from the training, if their work is now being has now been improved as a result of the training. How will innovation be a core strategy within HR? I am particularly excited about this part, considering the fact that um, innovation is a key factor in this present generation, and of course, moving away from the old order of hiring and firing, which is more like the like what we used to know HR for. Like I usually see them as taskmaster that just compel people to work. But now HR can now has now become you know a core part of every organization. They sit at the center of it. For an organization to really be successful, the HR department must rise to the occasion. They must they must be proactive. They must take full charge of the entire workforce within the organization. We can conclusively say that the success of every organization is completely dependent on the human resources management. Um, as having innovative business solution begins with creating an environment that fuels innovativeness. And so it is practically impossible to um, have innovative people thrive in an environment that is hostile to them. And so it begins with with creating an environment that promotes innovative culture. It begins with having an environment that attracts innovative talent who are innovative would want to go to places where they know they can explore, they know they'll be given chances to um, put their innovative um, skills to reality. And so it is important to develop talent to enhance innovations. That's another key factor that must be put in place. Um, like I said, innovative environment must be created. Innovation means building a collaborative workforce, yes. So it is crucial beyond the usage of technology, phones, smartphones, computers, and all of that to transform processes. Innovation should encourage the workforce to collaborate together, to work together. Like some companies like Google and Apple, they give their employees time to sort of work on things that they are passionate about. So, which is more like a way of, promoting an innovative culture within the organization. And most importantly, innovation, the environment should encourage innovation. I could remember um, my uncle told me sometimes ago while that he works in a place as a senior manager, and he had to move away from that particular environment due to internal crisis and then move to another place. And while working there as a junior staff this time around under somebody, he realized that every time he put in extra skills, extra effort, sort of use innovation to improve quality of projects, his superior will not acknowledge his effort. He will only take all of the credit for himself without acknowledging the people that work under him. And so over time, he just concluded that there's no point laboring very hard while this man just go to the management and take the glory for himself. So he stopped acting, going extra mile for any project. He would just do normal. And so this is a very terrible way of killing innovation within an organization. The HR should sort of put measures in place to acknowledge um, both the junior and the senior, especially when they've displayed innovation in executing their task within the organization. Finally, in the aspect of how HR can sort of encourage innovation. Another thing is to reward innovative ideas. People want to be rewarded. Everybody loves to be appreciated. And so if no one gets rewarded for innovative ideas, there's a possibility that they may not do it again. And so it is crucial that a reward system is put in place to sort of identify innovative ideas and to um, support such an individual in that aspect. Comparison between HR old and new function. Previously, HR has always been at the backstage. Their role is more like limited to hiring and firing. Organizations have not really seen HR to be an important factor that can help achieve um, objective. But in recent time, the HR department has now been pushed to the forefront of everything that goes on within the organization because their duty has a way of impacting the bottom line of the organization. One important thing is the fact that organizations are beginning to realize that the human factor within the organization is what really brings the money, not the money factor, as it were. And so the HR roles now include attracting and selecting the best talent for the job. It is now a core mandate for any organizations that HR ensure that the environment is a place that talent across the world have desire desire and they are yearning to want to be part of the workforce in that organization. The HR get involved with training, motivating, and retaining employees. It has become their regular duty to constantly think of how they can improve on the talent of their workforce and how they can motivate them to be more creative, to be more innovative, and to sort of work on how they can ensure that they keep staying within the organization. Um, I read somewhere the likes of Google and Apple and Amazon will probably would be chasing the same set of talent. And it is believed that once somebody is able to work in Apple, he will most likely be able to work successfully with Google. And so it is crucial that organizations or that the HR within organization manage um, to keep employees for a longer time, as this would definitely have impact on the company's bottom line. Nobody wants to work. As a matter of fact, employees or candidates usually have concern when a company is always recruiting for the same role like almost every year or 2 years. So they feel the environment is not a good environment. So in order for moving away from the old ways of just focusing on posting job adverts, HR now make the environment, make the environment for talent. They make it more friendly for talent development. Training is for promotional purpose, which may never come. People go for training before just to get open that they will get promotion once they acquire more skills, which may never come because everybody go for training to acquire to get promotion from the same position. But now training is for knowledge purpose and to sort of retain them. So if they are if the environment is such that um, you know sponsors employees training, um, there's a likelihood that employees would want to stay in that kind of environment because they know they will grow in that environment, not necessarily for um, to be running after or to be juggling for or struggling for promotion as it were. Usually sponsored in by individual, like in the old ways trainings are usually sponsored by individuals. Everyone goes out to train themselves or to acquire extra knowledge, but nowadays we now have companies who give who sort of sponsor their employees to acquire certification. I could remember a friend of mine when she got a job into a company as an accountant. She was assured, she said, if you like to become chartered in ACC, let us know. The organization will fully pay for it. Uh, and so far, my friend has been able to stay with that company for 5 years just because they sponsor um, her certification. And so all of these sort of affect make employees to stay more with the organization. Appraise and fire, that is more like their old way. So once they appraise and somebody is not performing, the next thing will be okay, let's get rid of the person. But now HR want to appraise and they want to provide support. What can we do to ensure that you work better? Because they know the cost of hiring a new candidate can be huge nowadays. So the best thing is not to fire, but to look at what is going on. Maybe if there's a means or if there are ways that the employees can be supported to sort of improve performance. Before now, feedback may not necessarily be regarded from employees. I can remember the first time I saw the word offboarding. I never. It sounds strange, and when I read through it, I found it very interesting. And so now feedback is important. Offboarding provide an excellent means to get feedback. So if somebody is exiting the company, you want to know what went wrong. Is there anything that can be done to sort of prevent future reoccurrence? So all of these help the organization to sort of perform better, retain its talent, and continue to grow in that particular regard. And so, um, basically, the journey of digital strategy in relationship with business and HR strategy is such an interesting one. And putting all of these three entities together in an effective manner would certainly improve the business bottom line and, of course, facilitate growth. So these are the references I consulted while preparing this um, material, this presentation. Thank you.